it's a tough race. But I have to tell you, BJ, for those who say it's an unsung job, it's not. It is fun if you take it that way. It is exciting, of course. And people do appreciate your coming forward, because if people like you and Colonel Acuff and myself and others don't come forward, then we will only get the kind of government that we deserve. I met BJ in an interesting way. I have a small startup company in the Triangle based on bought some biotech inventions at NC State. And BJ was astute enough to invest in my company. So he invested in me. And that was well before I think he'd made up his mind to run for Congress. Certainly I had no idea that he was going to run. If he had, maybe I wouldn't have accepted him as an investor, because obviously you kind of wonder, right? But it is the kind of a job that people of smart people need to do. And I think the things that you are for, and you know, we've already had this conversation, we don't agree on everything. Heck, I wouldn't agree on everything with my wife, especially with my wife. But you know, we agree on so much. And you know, someone who feels about the Constitution and about our country, as I know BJ does, I think we're very, very fortunate to have him as our candidate. I think we need to find the resources for him. I think we need to try to help him raise some money so that he can run a really effective campaign. Anybody who's here, you ought to leave a little bit at least. If $5 is all you got in your pocket, then leave $5, and if you've got a couple of hundred, that wouldn't hurt either. So let me encourage you to do that. In any event, I think we have a terrific candidate. I really wish you the best, and I'll be there for you through November, so we'll see. Thanks very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Tom. And also, I'd also like to recognize Colonel Acuff, who has got probably, if I could have picked any one aspect of my persona to change going into this process, I would love to have Colonel Acuff's voice. Because the chance I had to work with him doing a small advertisement for the primary, he was like, man, that is a great voice. And he says he got it talking air traffic control all the years that he was in the Air Force. So I'll give you the pleasure of hearing from another true American hero, Colonel Steve Acuff.
Well, thank you. I just want to echo what Tom has said. I think we've got a great candidate here. I want to echo also the fact that helping him to raise resources for this is critical to us. Todd Batchelor and myself and several others have validated that a low-budget campaign means David Price wins. I mean, that's just a fact. Yeah. So the other part of it is, for those that are down at the mouth because of the time of the year and the winds that seem to be blowing, saying it's going to be a bad year for Republicans, maybe, but it's going to be a great year for Americans. And I believe that B.J. Lawson is the exact right person that we need to send up to Washington. Because as he said 100 times or more, we've got a kind of a rule book. It's called the Constitution, and it sure would be nice to follow it, to get to. And I think there's a lot of people in Washington that need to be reminded of that. There's something about getting inside the Beltway, they lose perspective. B.J., we're with you. We're excited about this thing. We think it's going to go a long ways. And I like the part about the future is priceless. I agree with that.